Welcome to another episode of Hard Factor. It is Thursday, April 22nd, 2021, episode number 673 of Hard Factor. I'm Will. We got Mark, Pat, Wes, and Bubba could not make it tonight. So I'm going to be shitting my pants during the Daily Buzz trying to pop up all these videos and pictures for you fellas. So,
okay.
Good luck.
You got this? Yeah.
Hopefully so.
Camera on your pants?
Hopefully so. There should be a live cam on my sphincter, tightening and loosening throughout the Daily Buzz.
Huge group, but there's a contingent of the
if we could sell that, maybe
Well,
OnlyFans.
Like
I mean, if you want to talk about like fetishes and stuff like that, we did maybe the best interview we've ever done with Yuri from Kazakhstan, and it got interesting.
It got very interesting. You're gonna
I almost spit out my coffee.
That's coming out this week, right? We'll drop it as a separate show sometime this week.
It's going to be separate. It's going to be by Saturday. It's going to be fucking great.
It's going to be
amazing.
Yeah.
I thought you were getting at, Mark, the biggest fetish that there is, which is feet. Which I realized we should have blurred out your feet yesterday, Will, because I don't want to give the cow away. Who's going to buy the milk? Who's going to buy the cow if they can get the milk for free? That's what it is. We showed your feet.
Oh,
and I know we could have made some money on that.
You think those dots really turn people on? Follow up on that, by the way. The shingles thing was nonsense. So a quick Google really sorted that out.
Will, did you actually think you had shingles?
Well, the way Wes was presenting it, I thought he was serious. I mean, the thing was totally. I mean,
you've had gout, and that's,
but Wes, that's not how it works. You still don't get it. You'd have to have that specific herpes in your body, and it would inflame it.
Didn't you?
No, I don't.
I thought it was pretty clear that we were having like a little bit of exaggerated fun with it.
Yeah.
Like,
no, I had no idea. I thought it was for real. I had to Google it. Wes is totally.
It's
wrong.
real for those 6 people.
Yeah, six Israelis.
Yeah. For people who probably had it before. But Wes, do you have a link to that weed vape tester job? Because I tried to find the application and I can't find the link.
Yeah, I got you for sure.
I'm glad that you've reconsidered, Will, because on yesterday's show you were pretty opposed to it. But
because Wes showed a video of the guy cloud chasing. I didn't understand that it was.
I know what happened. No, this is what happened. Once Wes put the idea in Will's head that he had shingles from his vaccine, no matter what Wes said, Will was going to be mad at. He offered him his favorite thing to do.
No. I was genuinely confused because Wes was like, "Look at this double ring." Double ring picture. And I'm like, okay, the double ring picture. And he's like, and that's testing weed. And it wasn't because I was confused.
I think if Pat or I had done that job thing last night, you would have been fine with it last night. I think Wes got in your head with the shingles story.
Got your number.
Oh, speaking of that, Mark, turns out Elon Musk, he's disputing your claims. The autopilot was engaged.
I said it was still in initial investigations, and I said that their wives literally said on their way out that they were going to test autopilot and that they were not in the driver's seat, which the Texas State Police is like disputing Elon's claims. Elon's like, the data logs show that the auto was not engaged and that they did not buy the highest standard of our auto thing, so I don't think it was the car's fault. And the Texas State Police is like, yo, the wives literally said that their husbands were going to go auto driving, and
Elon's
they went
a liar, or they're crazy.
Or the salesman. The salesman could have been a liar too, and
the salesman fucked them.
The salesman could have told them they had the highest thing, and then also what Elon was saying is like all the cars have auto. You just have to buy an upgrade for like the super auto, and the one that they had like doesn't see lines. So he was like, they're driving on a lane without lines, but like maybe they didn't know that their auto needed to see lines.
What a progressive car doesn't even see lines. But
exactly.
So everybody could be telling the truth.
Everyone could be telling the truth in a way. Yes.
Where is it? What state is it going to happen in?
I certainly wasn't wrong. That's for fucking sure.
Figure out a way to make their car go forward without someone being in the driver's seat. It could have been with a brick, and it's the state of Texas.
They would have found a fucking stick or brick.
Listen, those Teslas, if you have the upgraded one, you can fucking call it to come like pick you up from wherever the fuck you are.
I think Elon's protecting his ass because he's a cocksucker. He's a piece of shit.
It will start and drive on its own.
How are we going to get Elon on the show?
That's a contentious subject because
I don't like Elon. I think that he cracks too many eggs to make his omelets.
You're just mad because he's pricing you out of Austin. That's what's
No, I've been talking shit about Elon from way before he moved to Austin. That's you rewind the tapes, my friend. June 2018, I've been saying he's a bad guy from a Bond villain. I still hold by that. Everyone's under his spell. He's a monster. Once you go to Mars, you're fucked.
well.
You're under his thumb.
Elon, come on the show if you want to clear your name from Mark.
Yeah.
And his thoughts. Upcoming events: we got a stereo show on Friday. So everybody, we're not sure who's going to be on that and exactly what time it's going to be, but we will be making our triumphant return to stereo on Friday.
Yes.
Please get in on that. They're super fun shows. Also, new tanks and tees for Fat Boy Summer, the Island Sunset theme. Beautiful. Hardfactor.com. Store.hardfactor.com.
I think I'm going to be in a pool this weekend with my Fat Boy tee on.
Oh, yeah.
They're flying off the shelves. We got a lot of videos today.
Wearing an FBS tank right now. Feels great. Looks great.
There you go.
Yeah. You guys ready?
Hell yeah.
I think so.
We got the buzz and then a bunch of stories after that. Let's go. Number 5 in the buzz today. It is Earth Day. So be kind to the planet Earth since it's probably considering extincting us at any moment, like the dinosaurs or the woolly mammoths. So it's Earth Day.
Does anyone remember? You guys may remember this, but when we were children,
Fern Gully?
Nickelodeon did a special, an Earth Day special, where an actress played Mother Earth, and she was being rushed to the hospital to be operated on by Doogie Howser, MD.
Oh,
No.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. No.
Didn't get the people recycling, apparently, because we're about in the same position we were.
well, and then
in
I don't know how efficient our recycling is. There's all kinds of stuff, but just be kind to the earth. Don't throw shit on the ground. And number 4, a little surprise. Surprise, Space Mountain. You thought it was gone, but no, it's back. I'm in the helmet. And we've got new verified UFO footage from the U.S. Navy. Boys, I'm playing it right now so you can see it. This is verified by the U.S. Navy. That is a floating, flashing triangle.
Holy shit.
No explanation. This is a UAP, an unidentified. So you guys want to tell the people how you now believe in aliens? I'm going to play it one more time for you. So just
Let's see it.
Well, what I was
You know what it looks
say,
like?
Will,
It looks like the play button on a video.
oh
yeah.
I don't know. That's pretty convincing to me.
I saw an article that I think it was on CNN that said new UFO video debunked ? So I don't know if you saw that, but
was it debunked by somebody higher than the Navy? Because the U.S. Navy just confirmed that one. My friend
confirmed they don't know what it is.
confirmed that they took that video on a Navy base and said that not only do they have the flashing triangles, they have the flashing bells, all kinds of shapes. So aliens definitely in play.
These aliens are pretty basic in geometry shapes. They're a triangle.
You want them to invent new shapes?
Right. I mean,
Yes.
a triangle's
There's
pretty.
only
Yes,
4
Pat.
shapes.
I think so. Yeah.
No, there's definitely shapes we don't know about.
No, really, everything's
they don't
a
either.
circle or a square or a
No,
triangle.
you guys
Rectangle,
are crazy.
triangle.
You guys are crazy.
Well, what do they call them now? So it's not UFO. It's what?
UAP, unidentified aerial phenomenon.
And what? Like I remember when STDs became STIs, right?
Yes,
Right.
very similar.
Wow.
Yes.
So like, but that was because
No,
like,
they're both still 2 different things. They're
It's
still 2
because
different things.
it's offensive to the UFOs to call them objects.
That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Who did this?
It's to object. You can't object.
The aliens. I mean, I think that's pretty clear. They're already setting the terms.
They have a lobbyist, or
Well, I think they're in control of more than you know. Moving on to number 3, Tucker Carlson and Brett Favre are having a hard time handling their mouths in the wake of the Derek Chauvin murder verdict and the aftermath. Brett said it's hard to believe that Chauvin meant to kill George Floyd, but that his actions were excessive, which the judge and jury disagree with. So it's a moot point, Brett.
Sit it out, Brett.
Yeah.
Sit it out.
Yep. And here's Tucker Carlson having a weird, like, mental, like, breakdown, complaining about a likely lengthy sentence coming for Chauvin. Here's that clip.
It was excessive, and it shouldn't happen. And what I'd like to say,
the guy who did it looks like he's going to spend the rest of his life in prison. So I'm kind of more worried about the rest of the country, which, thanks to police inaction, in case you haven't noticed, is like boarded up. So that's more my concern. But I appreciate your coming on, Ed Gavin. Thank you. Nope, done. Thank you.
what a fucking tool. He's such a tool, man.
What was that? I mean, like, he just got uncomfortable and nervous and then kicked him off the show. After
That was a
flipping out.
crazy laugh.
Yeah, that was unedited. That was just the clip.
What
So-
was he even saying? Thanks to police in action
Well,
is like
so-
boarded up.
That guest was saying, right? So he's saying that police are like not like
He's-
justified enough, or they
he's-
don't have enough like authority to do
He's
their
saying
jobs. and
stop the riots, right? He's saying stop the
Yes.
protests, stop the riots. Like all the cities are boarded up. That's a bigger issue than this one guy going to jail. That's what he's saying.
And the guest was like disagreeing with him. He's basically like, look, Chauvin's verdict is going to be a lesson for the law enforcement community. People are going to have to adjust. And Tucker just wasn't having it. So when he wasn't answering the way he wanted him to, he just kicked him off the show.
Yeah.
So
Whether you like it or not, that the verdict is landmark. This is gonna be a history book verdict. That's what took me away. Like people were so shocked. They were like, I can't believe that actually got the charges. Whether you agree with it or not.
right, it's a
Well, yeah,
departure.
Well,
from,
it's like we talked about last
the
night.
old ways.
I didn't understand it. And Pat, you were saying like, and you're right. It's a certainly a cultural issue that people are on either side of. For me, I'm just like, why would you back your guy being Chauvin for the? Why don't you isolate this issue, and then if you still are like super pro police and stuff, talk about that and say that we need police for this, and this reason, and we shouldn't defund the police, and people are taking it too far in those riots, but don't back Chauvin. Like you don't have to back this motherfucker while you still support the police if that's your stance. That's all. That's yeah.
Yeah, it's just people aren't used to seeing police officers get those types of charges when they're on the job. And
Well,
I think that people are trying to draw a line in the sand, but the line's already been drawn by the judge and the jury, so it's over.
Yeah. Brett
doesn't
Favre.
really matter.
Brett Favre needs to chill.
Yeah. We got more?
No.
All right,
Yeah,
number two.
wish I had
Wranglers
less.
might be a little bit too tight, if you know what I'm saying.
Number two, LeVar Burton of Star Trek and Reading Rainbow fame will guest host Jeopardy. Joe Buck is also going to take a crack at it this season, but people are heavily rooting for LeVar. So you guys remember him from Reading Rainbow?
Yeah, he looks great,
Of course.
as an
He
age
does
today.
look good.
Man.
He does look good.
You gotta
love LeVar.
a guy like LeVar, who's probably 65, right? It's amazing how you get from where he started to where he is and have such a high approval rating. He's got a Tom Hanks level approval rating.
Yeah.
People need to study LeVar.
Yeah, I mean, he's just kept his head down and kept doing jobs, good jobs too. Reading Rainbow, Star Trek. I mean,
He's the black Mr. Rogers.
It's his job to lose because, Aaron Rodgers, nice guy, but he was kind of.
He's got to play football too.
He's got to play football, and then no one wants Joe Buck to do it. I mean, come on.
Yeah, poor Joe Buck.
It's like a Make-A-Wish kid out there.
Yeah.
Number one. What's that? Pen?
Why do people hate him?
I don't know.
Oh no, I mean, Joe Buck seems like he's a nice guy. He goes on Pardon My Take all the time. I mean,
Because he's so annoying. His voice is like he's just so,
he's like a cookie cutter guy. He's just
Yeah.
like he's got a real punchable face. Probably that's
The
how you
Artie-
describe
He's a
him.
caricature.
Right.
Watch the Artie Lang and Paul Rudd on the
sketch
Joe
is
Buck
so
show,
funny.
and that explains everything.
Yeah,
Titans of industry.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on. Number one on today's Daily Buzz is Ma'Khia Bryant, a 16-year-old girl who was tragically shot and killed in a police intervention in Columbus, Ohio on Tuesday afternoon. And at first, people on Twitter were trying to claim that she was unarmed, but then the city released the body cam footage, and it was clear that
She was
the
very
officer,
armed.
yes, very armed with a knife, and the officer shot Ma'Khia to prevent her from stabbing somebody else. And even with that, somehow we can't all agree that the officer did the right thing, taking it to the internet. By the way, before we take it, I think this just proves that officers need a magic gun that just knocks people out, because
You're right. Will.
Without that, how would this have been resolved to everybody's liking?
It wouldn't
I
have.
don't know.
Need to freeze time.
Right.
Yeah.
You need the freeze time gun. You need the knock them out instantly gun. No possible deaths.
the heat wave gun, dude. It exists.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Okay.
Big,
well,
that's too big.
all right. Well, they need to get it. It needs to be for cops. And cops
I don't
need
think
to
you can
be able to
tell
put
a
it in a
cop.
holster.
What about a gun,
That
where
gun
you
is
could?
too big.
What about a gun that could turn other guns and knives into like rubber chickens, and then that woman would have been holding a rubber chicken in her hand instead of a knife?
Yeah.
That would have been funny.
Like a wizard stick.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
like a Harry Potter wand.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
she's dead.
Yes.
so.
Okay, but yes,
Well, she was trying to kill someone in front of a police officer.
correct. Without that magical instrument, there was nothing this officer could do besides shoot them to stop them from stabbing somebody else. So taking it to the internet, we have everybody's favorite political pundit, Lebron James. He really fucked up. He posted a picture of the officer. I've got his face blurred out here, guys, but LeBron was basically trying to show who this guy was to everybody, and he tweeted, "You're next," with an hourglass.
Right, like comparing him to Chauvin, saying he's next. Which
correct.
We watched the video. We watched it in slow motion. I mean, Ma'Khia was going to kill that woman.
Yeah, he saved her life.
It was it was within a second. I would say there was less than a second he had to act before she was going to stab the woman in the pink jumpsuit in the chest or neck, and she was right over top of her. So I don't know. I mean, I feel like
and serve. What is he? What
he's
is he
supposed to be?
do?
Yeah, was he supposed to let her die?
No,
no.
Supposed to protect the person who's about to get stabbed.
I mean it's a pretty simple argument, but I would say scoreboard. Look at the scoreboard. LeBron should have tweeted that shit.
That doesn't excuse people from being idiots today.
Agreed. It doesn't. Will
let's move on to a bigger idiot than LeBron. Then.
Scoreboard.
Let's move on.
Right.
Pat,
what does that mean? Scoreboard.
He's saying in the past. So he's trying to absolve these stupid takes.
I'm not
because in the past. There's been police brutality.
People are quick to react without knowing the facts because of the past.
And that's not okay. You got to know the facts.
Unbelievable. Let's move to a dumber take about this one from Bree Newsom. I don't know who Bree Newsom is, but she tweeted, "Teenagers have been having fights, including fights involving knives, for eons. We do not need police to address these situations by showing up on the scene and using a weapon against one of the teenagers. Y'all need help. I mean that sincerely."
She wants him to battle it out like Escape New York style.
Correct. So the Hard Factor interns then made this glorious meme of the kid who's smoking a bowl behind the two girls fighting, and it said teens fighting with knives. It's the two girls and the kid smoking the bowl is Bree Newsom. They buried her. That's a hilarious.
That's good. But Bree does have a slight point here.
No, she doesn't. That's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard, Pat. What are you trying to say? That's the stupidest fucking take. What, you shouldn't intervene in a knife fight if you're a cop?
And if you're called?
Yeah.
I said slight. Okay, and here's the point I think she was trying to make. And she's wrong. You shouldn't intervene with a fucking knife in a knife fight if you see one, of course. But the point is, it's something that happens very commonly. And this is an unfortunate situation that escalated into someone dying. But there are many, 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 many knife fights with teens happening all over the country. And I think that's the point she was trying to make. Again, I don't agree with her take.
What are you talking about?
It's tragic.
Boys will be boys.
16-year-old died.
Where are all these knives fights? Where are all these knife fights?
So our very good friend from the suburbs got stabbed 3 times.
Pat, this makes no sense. It's tragic that a 16-year-old died. The cop made the right intervention
twice, and it was in a house party that didn't call the cops. I believe the people called the cops saying that they're.
I was at the house party. The first.
No, I'm talking about this issue.
Oh, okay.
the woman who got shot. I think there was a police call to the police saying that this person's attacking us with a knife. Was there not?
They got called for a reason.
They got called to the scene. So it's different. If you're a police officer, you get called to the scene and someone's about to murder another civilian that you're supposed to serve and protect. You have to act. You can't.
I think he arrived on the scene. I'm not sure who made the call, but he had to defend somebody who was about to get killed.
Pretty sure they called the cops.
They were alerted. The police officers were alerted. I'm not sure who made the call. It's tragic, but that's why we need the magic gun for the cops and Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates looking in your directions. And that's the Daily Buzz, which is brought to you today by our sponsor, Mint Mobile. After years of fine print contracts and getting ripped off by the quote unquote big wireless providers, if we've learned anything, it's that there's always a catch. So when I first heard about Mint Mobile offering premium wireless services starting at just $15 a month, I thought, what's the catch?
What's the catch, Pat? What's the catch?
But after speaking with them and using their service, it all makes sense. There isn't a catch. The only thing Mint Mobile does, their secret sauce, is that they're the first company to sell wireless services online only. By cutting out the retail stores, there's no crazy overhead costs that get passed down to you in the form of mystery fees. Instead, Mint just passes on sweet savings direct to you. Switching to Mint is going to save me a ton, and the service is great too. For people looking for extra savings, Mint Mobile offers premium wireless for just $15 a month. All plans come with unlimited talk and text plus high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and keep your same phone number along with all your existing contacts. You just switch out the SIM card. And if you're not 100% satisfied, Mint Mobile has you covered with their 7-day money-back guarantee. Switch to Mint Mobile and get premium wireless services starting at just $15 a month to get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month. And to get the plan shipped to your door for free, go to mintmobile.com/hardfactor. That's mintmobile.com/hardfactor. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/hardfactor.
It's like less than 10% of most phone bills. Hey,
like on a fishing trip,
right? What does that mean?
No catch.
No catch.
Oh, nice. No strings attached.
No strings. Hey, are any of you guys big into reincarnation? You think you're coming back as something?
I hope not, because I feel like I'd downgrade.
I mean, if I get to keep all my organs, I'll probably come back as a giant oak. But if not, then it's like, the blade of grass or something.
Yeah. In terms of afterlife, I'm like, it's like me on the roulette table. I'm putting a chip on everyone,
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. You got to, like, you say your last rites and then
I'm not ruling anything out.
I'm with you, Pat. I wouldn't mind coming back as something that could fly. That would be cool. But something with like very little predators or none, like a bald eagle or a great horned owl. I don't want to be like a bird that gets, eaten. But anyways, I'm not a big believer in reincarnation. I'm pretty sure it's a big theme in Hinduism and Buddhism. And in fact, I did a little bit of research, so now I'm an expert on the two. They do have different definitions of reincarnation. Speaking totally from my 30 minutes of research, it seems like Hinduism believes in reincarnation more like I was just referring to, where you are literally reborn in another human or animal based on karma and merit. Kind of like Wes was saying, if you do a good job in this life, you'll be upgraded to like a better being, physical being. If you do a bad job, you'll become like a shitty bird. And yeah, it's like they believe in an individual soul transferring from body to body, kind of like a hermit crab outgrowing its shell. It's still you're the hermit crab. You go to a different physical being, but you're you try to reach enlightenment by being good throughout all these different lives with your soul. Then you get to nirvana. So that's you following. That's Hinduism.
So your soul is always there, and you're just upgrading bodies
or downgrading if you're a piece of shit.
Okay.
Like Chauvin's going to come back as a worse thing. And then, of course, Buddhism is different. They don't believe in traditional reincarnation. It's more of a rebirth. There is no self and no soul that is yours. There's only existence, and dying and being reborn is not you, but just existence existing again. So when you die, you become part of like a mind stream, kind of like the life stream in Final Fantasy VII, like a mana stream. And it's just like little bits of you. And based on your actions in your current existence, you will go to a this is called the rebirth is called samsara. You will go to a realm. Now there's 6 realms. The current realm that you're in right now is the human realm, which is pretty good. It's the second best realm. The worst realm's like hell. That's the first realm. And then all the way up, we're in the 5th realm right now, the human realm. The goal being to get to the 6th realm, which is the God's realm. And in order to get there, you have to be selfless and do
aliens.
Good things.
I bet it was aliens that actually did
in Myanmar, when the police kill someone, then they're like, "That's cool. He'll be reborn in a better realm," right? Like,
or worse, depending on if the person was bad or good. Correct, but yeah, if they're Buddhist,
they are. That's what's really weird about it.
So if you're a cop, then you're always telling yourself that you sent them down to the next one below. You're like,
I'm gonna send you to a lower realm, bitch, demigod realm. So like that's. But again, you don't have a soul. Your good actions will just make you exist in a different realm, and you have to be like selfless and end the suffering.
Are these realms all the same? Like, could you be reborn into a different like Earth?
I think you go. I don't know, but I think you could go human to human. If you're like doing an okay job, I think you can be rebirthed in the same realm.
Right, like you don't want to be in the same realm as your ex-wife. Like you're hoping that even if you guys are in the same level, you're hoping that there's just different realms. So
realms.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Like bizarro.
Think of it like Bill Murray in Groundhog's Day. He kept doing an okay job, so he kept waking up. But then when he did a really good job, he got out of it. That was like upgrading realms.
Got it. Thank you.
There you go. It's like Groundhog's Day. So yeah, the other thing about the God realm is it's just fucking awesome. You got to kick ass to get there. And look, one way to ensure you get enough karma points is to make merit. It's called making merit in Buddhism, like through good selfless deeds, acts, or thoughts. Another staple of making merit is through great self-sacrifice to Buddha himself, which is exactly what 68-year-old Thailand Buddhist monk Tamakorn Wang Preacha did when he cut his head off with a guillotine and offered it to Buddha.
What?
I don't think Buddha would have liked that.
No, he did. He likes it.
So Buddha,
pretty big sacrifice.
So Buddha's big into that. He's big into you chopping your own head off.
He likes sacrifice to him. So this was just an extreme
He sounds like a violent god. Isn't he supposed to be very peaceful? I thought he was like the most enlightened being.
He likes to be acknowledged. Well, the monk was found dead on April 15th at the Wat Phu Hin Temple in Nong Bua Lam Phu province in northeastern Thailand. And we know he wasn't murdered because he left a suicide note inscribed in a slab of marble saying,
Come on. They do build things to last over there.
saying, hey, I've been planning this for 5 years. I finally worked up the courage. I'm pretty sure offering my fucking head to Buddha should be enough to make merit. I'll see you real soon, you God realm motherfuckers. I know a lot of you got in for a lot less.
Man, this is such a shame because this guy is like the perfect lieutenant in any organization. A guy that's willing to do this is the type of guy you want working for you, you know?
This is like the guy in a Japanese Yakuza movie that like cuts part of his tongue off or a finger off to pay penance, but he fucking chopped his goddamn head off.
Yeah, but this is a bad precedent to start, you know?
Yeah, we're going to get into that, Wes.
Okay.
We're about to get right into that.
Okay.
His nephew, Burnshard, yes, it is, because that's what I'm saying. He upped his nephew, Burnshard Boonrod, discovered the body and the slab of marble note and the head next to a makeshift guillotine that the former monk made. He placed a god statue next to the guillotine so that like it looked like this. Like basically there's a statue of a god holding up a head. Mm-hmm. And so he wanted his head to land in the hands of this god statue, representing that he was sacrificing his head to Buddha.
Was there already a head? Because the picture you just showed was a statue of a headless god.
Yes.
That was holding its own head. Was the statue he was trying to drop his head in there? Was there a head already in there?
Very good question. I couldn't find a picture of it.
Because it would just bounce off the stone head and end up on the ground.
I'm assuming that god had a head, but I don't know. It's a good question. And look, this move was actually pretty well received in his community, Wes. He had been a monk for 11 years, and one of his followers, you, had this to say. He had been planning this for 5 years now. He fulfilled his goal and met enlightenment. So he's kind of like a hero over there. 300 people showed up to his odd funeral as the monk's body was laid inside a coffin while his head placed in a jar before his followers and family members carried his remains to the forest where they burned his remains.
The body, but what happened to the head?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's not the type of funeral you get food after, you know?
They're keeping
Not going to catch a meal.
What are they doing with that head in the jar, though?
Well, they're looking at it and thinking that could be my head. Well, as Wes was thinking,
it's like it's now a holy relic.
The guy's going to get into the god realm. You can't make merit more than chopping off your head. Look, and since this monk was receiving so much praise from his followers and the people in town, and them not wanting to have the headline, entire group of monks chops off heads for Buddha, the National Office of Buddhism asked the local government in Thailand to help them explain to residents in the area that such practice was not encouraged in the religion. They should make smaller sacrifices to things like to Buddha, like you can give your money away, your earthly possessions, or you can free captive animals in Buddha's name, to which I and Tom McHorn's followers say, yeah, right, my man just upped the game. You're not going to make merit by freeing a few caged birds when homeboy chopped his fucking head off.
Yeah, he set the standard way too high.
He just
Tony
changed.
Hawk did the 900.
Exactly. He did a 900 in this town, and everyone's like, whoa, what am I doing with my head? I'm not going to get out of the human realm with this on my head.
There's going to be more. Remember, there was the self-immolation that was really big for a few years.
Yeah. People
are going to have to make that a comeback in order to compete with the headless guy now.
There's going to be heads in jars everywhere in this town.
One of the worst parts about this is, suicide note's pretty depressing, and this one's cut in a stone. It's like you can't really throw it out. Someone's going to have to put it in their house, look at it every day.
Yeah, he was planning for 5 years. Is that when he started writing in the note? How long does it take to inscribe in marble? I imagine a while.
Yeah, it was a long time.
Yeah, I imagine a long time. It was thought out. So it
not
wasn't
5 years.
Wasn't a rash decision.
What shitty friends. If I told you guys in 5 years I'm going to kill myself, I'd hope you guys would stop me at around year 4. Maybe even, I don't know.
I'd stop it right away. I couldn't hang out and listen to somebody's plan for 5 years.
But here's the thing though. You got to
put the marble again, Pat.
Here's the thing though.
I hear you clanking.
You got to put yourself in their shoes. So like Pat, we'd have to be like so passionate about something. It would have to be like you being like we're trying to like make it as comedians, and you decided to do something rash to make it as a comedian that we as comedians believed you would make it if you did this insane thing, and then we would have to tell you not to do that, and then it would kind of be like us turning our back on that. Like, so like these Buddhist monks, as a monk, how are you going to tell this guy to not make merit the way that he's going to make merit? I don't know.
Well, in
you have to renounce. You have to renounce the religion.
But yeah.
You have to renounce the religion, or chop your head off over there.
Yeah, the stakes are high in Buddhism, apparently.
Yeah. I mean, they burn themselves, cut their heads off. Jesus Christ. All right, guys. Fat Boy Summer is upon us. It is going to be one of the best summers in recent memories because we didn't get a summer last year. So we got some making up to do. Am I right? But with beachgoers.
Say it again. Say it again.
We got some making up to do, right? But with beachgoers already rushing to the shores in our southern states, wouldn't you know it, nature has to once again come along and spoil the party, this time in the form of worms armed with hooked jaws that will bite you if you go swimming. Thanks, nature. One more thing to scare the fuck out of Mark while he's swimming.
Hey. I like swimming.
An ocean worm?
Yeah. No, this, my friends, is the clam worm.
No.
And they are infesting
the
South Carolina coastline around Charleston, especially because it wants to fuck and bite your ass.
It goes into your ass?
Well, so I'll tell you. So these things normally live under the seafloor, but come springtime, they congregate to mate in the shallow waters. And during full and new moons, they morph into their sex machine shapes called epitokes, which you saw in the video. Looks like a centipede kind of wormy thing. Very disgusting. Here's a close-up picture of it. And you see those little hooked jaws. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Worse.
Yeah. According to experts, these little sex machines might mistake your finger for a worm pussy and latch onto it with its hooked jaws. And they like it rough enough to break the skin and make you go, what the fuck was that? A clam worm?
So they bite you and come on you?
Yeah, they just bite you. They just hold on to anything.
They hump you.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Yeah,
it's disgusting. The South Carolina Department of Natural Resources issued a warning to stay the fuck out of the water until these things are done with their spring orgy and the birds and fish dwindle their numbers. So that's what's going on.
That's terrible.
That's
insane. I mean, so you already have sharks. Is there a lot of sharks in that area?
Oh, jellyfish.
Jellyfish in South Carolina suck, man.
Eels.
Do you have they have horseshoe crabs too?
The
That's the other one that piles up on the beach.
Yep.
Oh man.
These are in the salt water?
Yeah, there's salt water. Yeah.
I mean, the ocean's incredible, but
that's my favorite type of water.
That's a lot of shit going on in the South Carolina beach right now. That's a lot
Is there
to deal with.
Anyone gotten severely injured from these things, or?
No. I mean,
it's just like embarrassing. Like you got. Like
it's like probably like a jelly. It's like it scares you. You shake your finger real fast and you like freak out.
Yeah, but for dudes with thinner dongs, if I had a thinner dong, I'm rocking a Speedo. There's no pathway to my dong.
You think that thing could latch onto the front?
Leg. You think I can get through?
Well, it could get through for sure if you're not wearing a Speedo. But if you have a thinner dong, like a finger thin dong, it could go at that.
You think
or if you had a really like a pointy testicle, it could really it could latch on. Say you had one really pointy one.
What?
No, I mean I'm just saying if that was
easier to latch onto.
So you're saying wear a Speedo.
Will's saying he has a pointy testicle. I've never heard of a pointy testicle.
I'm saying it's a possibility. I'm not saying I have one. I'm just saying
it saws through his pant leg and it's just hanging out.
Yeah,
gotta get new pants again.
I mean,
watch out, my testicles are sharp.
I got that one real pointy one.
Put an eye out.
I'm worried about this clam worm.
You guys remember when I got that fucking rash in
Damaging
South Carolina that I thought was like an STD? I went to the doctor. It ended up being like little tiny jellyfish. It's called sea bathers, and the jellyfish like larva get in you. The doctor he had like the fucking assistant in there checking it out because they'd never seen it before. Because I live in Texas and they're like they don't get cases. He's like, check this out, sea bathers. It's like, are you sure it's not fucking an STD?
That's terrible.
Yeah, well, after a trip to Myrtle Beach, it's reasonable suspicion.
I was a little south. I was a little classier south, but yeah, the water's mesh. Anyway, gum, guys, is something people chew as a way to relieve stress, curb appetites, and most importantly, freshen breath. But many people don't realize that gum can also be an integral part of healthy oral care routine. It was only a few years ago that Quip reinvented the toothbrush for the modern age. They have done it again, this time for chewing gum. They've launched a new gum that's actually good for your oral health and comes with a dispenser that'll remind you of the one-click candy you loved as a kid, except it's a lot sleeker and a lot more modern looking. Very cool. You pull it out and you pop. So people are like, "What's that?" That looks pretty cool. Quip gum can help prevent cavities and freshen breath when chewed for 20 minutes after eating. It's sugar-free and has tooth-friendly xylitol with 0 calories. And to satisfy your taste buds, Quip added a long-lasting mint flavor, crunchy tri-layer design, and stamped it all with the classic Quip tongue. The slim travel-ready dispenser, available in 5 colors, metal or plastic, packs and protects up to 10 gum pieces at a time and fits just about any purse or pocket for on the go. And in a world where we all need to be extra safe and hygienic, the quick release button means you can still share with your friends, no wrappers, hands, or hassles. Add a gum refill plan for a gift that keeps on giving all year round. Quip's customizable subscription lets you chew and share at your own pace and not worry about running out. Plus, the more you buy, the more you save with bulk discounts on extra gum packs. It's not a substitute for brushing and flossing, but this is a great support for oral health, paired up with Quip electric toothbrush for adults and kids, refillable floss, and more great products. In addition to gum packs, Quip also delivers fresh brush head, floss, and toothpaste refills every 3 months from $5. Shipping is free, so you can save money and skip the misery of in-store shopping. Spread good oral health habits and join the over 5 million mouths already using Quip. Get chewing for less than $2 per gum pack. And if you go to getquip.com/factor right now, you can get a free plastic dispenser with any refill plan. That's free dispenser to get at getquip.com/factor, getquip.com/factor. You can also find the Quip electric toothbrush, refillable floss, and more in the oral care aisle at your local Walmart. Quip, the good habits company.
Hell yeah. Shout out to Andy Greenberg of Wired for his reporting on this next story. Do you guys ever notice that McDonald's McFlurry machines are always broken?
Yes.
You know the answer to that.
Yeah, that's a rhetorical question because they're always fucking broken. And I got 3 McDonald's guys on my show as my co-hosts. According to McBroken.com, which, by the way, tracks how many McDonald's ice cream machines are down at any one time. And it does this kind of ingeniously by automatically adding a frozen treat to an online order every 30 minutes and then updates the data. So, the number of broken machines hovers about at 7.5% at any given time down across the country.
It's way too high.
It's way too high, guys. For example, at the time of this taping, 20% of Boston's machines were down, which I'm sure ended in at least one assault. Which wouldn't have been the first time, by the way, because back in 2017, a Daytona Beach McDonald's employee was savagely beaten by 3 angry customers when they were told the machine was not working, and then they saw someone else with an ice cream cone, and they
they always clarify that, though. It's a separate thing.
Right. No, it's actually the same machine.
Or they'll tell you that, like, I don't know. They're always claiming it's broken.
That fight that assault would have happened whether the machine was working or not. You know it, Pat.
You are very right.
The machine's too cold.
This is why I'm a Blizzard guy now.
Yeah. Why does he have a cone then? So guys, why is it? Well, McDonald's ice cream machines are made by a company called Taylor, who has about 13,000 models C602s in McDonald's across the country, with each one setting back McDonald's franchisees about $18,000 a pop. And these machines are very, very finicky, and they've been referred to by many franchisees as the Italian sports car of ice cream machines. These things will break if you breathe on them wrong. And every 2 weeks, every machine and their 24 O-rings has to be disassembled, sanitized, and then reassembled by someone who's making the minimum wage for. And
that's why.
Yeah.
That's 100%. That's 100% why people don't want to spend an hour and a half cleaning the machine and putting the 22 O-rings or whatever you just said.
How long ago did they make these buys on these things when they decided they're going with this model? Because this is supposed to be outdated.
This has been going on for a long time, Will, and it's not going anywhere, which is why I'm telling you guys this story. Also, for the sake of the people putting the machine back together, I hope they're high before their shift, and I will forgive you if the machine breaks, because working at McDonald's fucking sucks. On top of that, guys, the machine is designed with 0 troubleshooting options. So whenever something goes wrong on the machine, even the littlest thing, the McDonald's franchisee has to call in Taylor technicians, so the technicians who work for the company that makes the machine, to the tune of thousands of dollars a month in maintenance fees. They're paying to the Taylor technicians if anything goes wrong with these machines. And they have to do.
What a racket for Taylor.
Well, yeah. Let me ask you. So my girlfriend was a bartender, and she's told me that when she hated making the time consuming drinks for customers, so she would purposely and her coworkers would purposely break the blenders because it was such a pain in the dick to make some of these drinks. Do you think that's might be what's happening with these?
I don't think that's happening, Wes, because the wrath that poor minimum wage workers are enduring when people are not getting their Shamrock Blizzards is not worth breaking the situation. They're not making enough money.
No. I disagree. I thought we already landed there. I guess I'm confused. I'm positive that if you have a cool manager, they're like, we're not spending the hour and a half to clean the O-rings. We're not.
Right. Well, then you must know nothing about owning a McDonald's franchise, because McDonald's can literally shut your franchise down like that, and they do not fuck around. You better have your machine up and running, guys.
I guess I don't.
And if you think this sounds like some sort of fucked up weird monopoly engineered by McDonald's and Taylor ice cream machines to extract profits from McDonald's franchisees, then congrats on being woke, because that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, it's exactly like if you've watched The Founder, they do it like this. They've constantly been scheming from the beginning. Like they'll push a product on people, and that obviously benefits like the wife of the Ray Kroc. She was the one who had the first milkshakes. So she made all that money off the milkshake deal the first time. And then they did another milkshake deal with the McFlurry people.
Well, at least people were winning money in that Monopoly game, right?
Oh, yeah. If your name
that was inside job.
Roy, or what was the guy's name? The one guy.
They were all, it was like the same guy. Big Roy, Little Roy.
Big Jerry?
Yeah, Jerry.
Big Jerry. Well, guys, here's the deal. As it turns out, the machines have a cheat code. So it's a cheat code that consists of about 16 different keystrokes that, if pressed very precisely, brings up a secret undisclosed menu that can fix a majority of the problems on the machine. This is not disclosed anywhere in the owner's manual whatsoever. It's purposely hidden. And lucky for us, guys, two ice cream loving techies have spent the last 10 years developing what is essentially a game genie for the C602 model called Kitsch. Right. So it's like it's a little thing you plug into the machine and immediately makes the interface user friendly and gives you the ability to essentially take care of, I don't know, like 99% of the problems.
GCB.
And Kitsch charges $10 a month for their subscription, and shit was going gangbusters with McDonald's franchisees across the country, all loving on Kitsch. I guess there was like a big McDonald's franchisees shareholder meeting where they all get together, and one of the biggest franchisees, guy that owns a ton of McDonald's, gave him like a 2-minute pitch about how great Kitsch is, because it's really an awesome product.
Oh no, but the execs at McDonald's
did not like it, William. Ooh. They did not like it one bit. If you thought crooked Ronald McDonald and even evil Taylor Corp were just going to take a hit on their lucrative maintenance business, servicing the machines that they require franchisees to own and buy from them, you're wrong, because they shut that shit down quick. McDonald's sent an email out to all franchises saying that installing the Kitsch add-on on their ice cream machines would void the warranty and would cause, quote, serious human injury, effectively ruining Kitsch's business. So
this is Mick bullshit.
Yeah, these guys have been working on this thing for 10 years, and they were 2 years into their business, took on a ton more investment. Things were going great. They solved a problem that didn't need to exist, and McDonald's said no. McDonald's also promised their own machine that will have a more friendly interface, and Wired talked to 50 franchisees, and they're like, we've never even seen this machine in the flesh. We don't think it exists.
McDonald's is like a fucking evil pharmaceutical company that has the cure, but they just want you to keep pumping you with the yeah.
Dude, is there follow the money? Is Taylor owned by McDonald's?
A lot of McDonald's people that follow McDonald's closely and blog about them think that Taylor, they have such a long-standing relationship. Taylor put the pressure on McDonald's to shut down Kitsch.
Of course.
Which they did.
It's a partnership. This is what scares me about like crypto, right? Kitsch is like crypto. And the Fed and like Janet Yellen is like McDonald's. And like that's, I don't know. You're talking about McDonald's stomping people out. Now I'm scared. Oh man, the big guys just just stomping on the little guy's neck. That's a terrible story.
You think about that. Well, guys, hopefully things work out. The little guy is suing McDonald's and the franchisees that it gave the kitch to because it made them sign an agreement saying that they could not give the kitch to anyone else. And somehow McDonald's got a hold of one and reverse engineered it. They were sending their lawyers to try to buy them and employees to try to buy them off books. And they kept canceling the orders from the McDonald's people. Finally, they got their hands on the one.
So to refresh this episode, everyone's mad in the culture war. If you go to Thailand to become a Buddhist monk, you're going to lose your head. You can't go swimming.
Only if you go all the way.
Can't go swimming in the Carolinas anymore, and you're never going to get an ice cream from McDonald's.
No way.
I'm going to try right now as soon as we're done here.
I knew that you would. That's partly why I chose this story.
I think I'm going to try too.
The new one just opened back up.
For as much business as we're sending McDonald's from Wes every time we talk about them. Guys, have a great fucking day.
Wes is going to McDonald's.
Oh, I'm so going to McDonald's.
You talk about McDonald's for 10 minutes.